Okay, good morning, students. Welcome to today's lesson on methods of teaching biology. In this lesson, we are going to learn about classroom management strategy. A variety of classroom management strategies can be used by the teacher to effectively manage the classroom. So this session will discuss few of such strategies. So by the end of this session, I expect that you should be able to enumerate some strategies for managing the classroom. So that is our objective for this session. Now we move to classroom management strategies. We have various strategies for managing the classroom. The first one is proactive planning. Proactive planning. Planning does not only help you to teach the content efficiently, but also helps in managing the classroom. So we have mentioned earlier that teaching is a planned activity. Teaching is a planned activity. So if a teacher prepares well, is able to select interesting and challenging activities to keep students engaged. So when students are engaged, they will not put up disruptive behavior. Mostly the class becomes disorganized when students become bored. So most of the times you have to ensure that the class is active and then moving. So the next strategy in managing classroom is systematic arrangement of the classroom. Systematic arrangement of the classroom. A congested classroom is difficult to manage. That one, take it from me. A congested classroom is difficult to manage. The teacher should be able to move freely and reach any student without much difficulty. So in order to manage or ensure that the classroom is serene or conducive, you the teacher, you have to arrange the classroom such that the teacher you can keep an eye on students. You have to put students who are short or are hearing of or visually impaired at the front part of the classroom. So you have to arrange your students properly in order not to have a disruptive environment. Okay, so the next strategy is you have to identify precursors to students' disruptive behavior. You have to identify precursors to student disruptive behavior. So identifying the precursors, you mean use preventive strategies. So you are trying to say that do not wait for students to misbehave before you react. Do not wait for students to misbehave before you react. So identify the precursors to students' disruptive behavior. So as a teacher, you need to know your students and how they behave in certain conditions or within certain groups. So if you know this, then you do not allow certain students to sit with those they are likely to misbehave with. So it is important to break up friends and groups in the class during teaching to ensure a conducive environment. So that is the third point. Now the next strategy is fair treatment. Now with fair treatment, treat all students fairly. When you do that, this one will increase respect for the teacher. And then be consistent in dealing with students. You have to be consistent in dealing with students. Now, I'm also saying that class and school rules should be reinforced consistently. And also make sure that every student is given the stated punishment if they go wrong. But do not be partial in meting out of disciplinary measures. So if students are not treated equally and fairly, then the student will not be keen to follow the rules. So I'm saying that The teacher should establish classroom rules which will guide him in his teaching. And these classroom rules should be simple and understandable. Should be very, very simple and understandable. So the classroom rules should be important for classroom management. And then the rules should communicate what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior in the classroom. Each rule should come with its penalty if one falters. So these ones are very important here. Very, very important here. The next one is know the names of students. So this is very important to enhance classroom management. When students are aware that you know their names, they are careful how they behave in your presence. So as a teacher, try as much as possible to know the names of your students. So they become aware that you are identifying them if they go wrong, even when they are in a group. So try and know your students' names. The next point is avoid confrontation. Now with avoid confrontation, what we are trying to know is that do not confront students aggressively. Discipline is best administered in private. Even when you want to use it as a deterrent to others, the culprit will inform his colleagues what was done to him. And when he returns to the class after being punished. So these are the strategies used in classroom management. Okay, so we've learned a lot in this session. So I want you guys to review this session. So in reviewing this session, I will ask you these questions. Explain 4 strategies for managing a biology class. List 4 strategies for managing a classroom. So I believe when you're able to find answers to these questions, I believe you understood this session.